In the last class, we were discussing about rent-free accommodation. So, what do you mean by rent-free accommodation? It is an accommodation given by the employer to employee to stay in that particular house. So, there are two conditions. First one is whether that accommodation is owned by the employer, and second one is whether that accommodation is not owned by the employer. And before that, there are two categories of employees. That is, one is government employee and second one is non-government employee. So in the case of government employee, what happens? RFA value or nature of requisite is nothing but license fee determined by the government. So that will be given in the problem that you have to consider, and you should ignore the market value of the house. And once you get the license fee, from that you have to deduct rent recovered from the employee. If any rent is received from the employee, that you have to deduct. That is the treatment for government employee. Now there are one more category of employee. Those are called as non-government employee. Under non-government employee, first one, accommodation is owned by the employer. Whenever accommodation is owned by the employer, there will be three cases. There will be three cases. This we have discussed in the last class. That is depending upon the population. So first, if population is more than 25 lakh, 15% of the salary. If population is more than 25 lakh, 15% of the salary. If population is between 10 lakh to 25 lakh, then 10% of the salary. If population is less than 10 lakh, then 7.5% of the salary should be the value of the perquisite. So what do you mean by perquisite? Perquisite means anything given in addition to the salary. It may be monetary benefit or non-monetary benefit. It may be in cash or in kind. So that is known as perquisite. So now first under RFA calculation, we have to calculate the value of a perquisite. So in the case of house owned by the employer, we discussed about three cases. So now let us see if house is not owned by the employer. That means your employer is paying the rent for that particular house, or if the employer is taken that house on lease. In that case, what we have to do? In that case, rent paid by the employer or 15% of the salary, whichever is low or whichever is a minimum, is to be taken. So now this is the rule for when the house is not owned by the employer. If accommodation is in the hotel, then the 24% of the salary paid or payable or actual charges paid or payable, whichever is lower is taken, and whatever the amount is collected from the employee, that you have to deduct from the value of the perquisite. So after this, what do you mean by salary for the purpose of RFA calculation is also very important. Salary means everything. Salary means basic. Salary means DA also comes, all the taxable allowance, all the monetary benefit, but it does not include contribution to PF by the employer. Exempted allowance does not come. Tax-free perquisite are not included for the purpose of rent-free accommodation calculation. So this is about the RFA rules, and after calculating the RFA, then there is one more thing. There are some cases when furniture may be supplied by the employer to employee. So in that case, if that furniture is owned by the employer, in that case what we have to do? The cost of the furniture will be given in the question. On that we have to take 10%. Why? Because that is one kind of depreciation we are taking. That we have to add, or else if furniture is not owned by the employer, then higher charges will be given in the question, that we have to consider. If both is given, cost of the furniture and higher charges, then we have to consider higher charges. Yes. So then we can easily calculate value of rent-free furnished accommodation. Then we discussed about two problems. Now let us see the problem number 3. See this problem. Prasanna SSE, working as a general manager of D'Souza Limited. So Prasanna is an employee, D'Souza Limited, employer at Mangalore. Mangalore, that is the place of his work. Then, particular of his salary for the previous year, 2019-20, are as under. Now, salary they have said 10,000 per month. Bonus 19,200 they have given that we have to consider. Then CCA, city compensatory allowance is 14,000 given. Medical allowance 500 per month. If nothing is mentioned, you have to take as it is. Now CCA 14,000 given, take as it is. If per month is given into 12, we have to do. Medical allowance 500 per month. And whether medical allowance is taxed, that is one more thing. Yes, here medical allowance is taxed. So it is a taxable allowance. Whenever it is a taxable allowance, what happens? You have to consider for the purpose of calculation of RFA, rent-free accommodation. Then company pays a rent of 30,000 towards his accommodation for the year. By seeing this point, can you tell me whether the house is owned by the employer? Can you tell me whether the house is owned by the employer? Fifth point. Tell me now. Yes, Anuj.
No, the company pays no, sir.
Yes. So what
He is
happens?
in rent.
Yeah. So this is the case of house is not owned by the employer. Whenever the house is not owned by the employer, what is the rule? Rule is 15% of the salary or rent paid by the employer, whichever is low, shall be taken as the value of the perquisite. Now, company has provided furniture worth 1 lakh and no other information about furniture is given. So now how to calculate the value of furniture here? Can you tell me what amount we should?
10%, no, sir.
Yes, 10% we have to add because there is no higher charges is given. So we'll assume that furniture is owned by the employer and he gives that furniture to employee. That is why 10% on the original cost of the furniture should be added to the value of RFA. Then amount collected from Prasanna towards rent is 1,200 per month. What we have to do about this adjustment? Can you tell me now what we are going to do about this one?
Uh,
Hmm.
that 7.5%.
No, no,
That
no,
one, sir.
no. This is rent recovered from employee. See, this person is employee, so it is a rent recovered from employee. So after doing
Yes.
all the calculation, you have to deduct this amount. You have to minus this amount. So 1,200 into 12. Then you will get the final value of RFA. Compute perquisite value of rent-free accommodation at a concessional rent. So they have specifically given house is not owned by the employer. So this type of problem comes for 8 mark. 8 mark problem. Very, very important. So now you see the solution part. First thing we want is salary. So what do you mean by salary here? Salary means here all the things basic, DA, all taxable elements excluding any contribution made to the PF and any tax-free allowance, any tax-free perquisite we have to ignore. All other things we have to consider. If you see this problem, salary you have to take, bonus you have to take, city compensatory allowance you have to take, everything you have to take. Why? Because all these are taxable allowance. Medical allowance also you have to take. So first four information will come. So salary is equal to basic plus bonus plus CCA, city compensatory allowance plus medical allowance. So basic, what is the value of basic? Basic value is 10,000. We want it for 1 year. So how to calculate now? 10,000 into 12. So 1,20,000 is our basic. Bonus, nothing they have mentioned, just they have given 19,200. Same information you have to take. City compensatory allowance, again 14,000 they have given. Same information, same amount you have to take. Then medical allowance, in the question they have given 500 per month. So 500 into 12 you have to do. So now the total medical allowance for 1 year is 6,000. We want a salary for RFA purpose. So add all these things. When you add all these things, that is basic, bonus, CCA and medical allowance, you will get a total salary. Total salary amount is 1,59,200. So this is total salary. After getting the total salary, now it is very easy to calculate RFA. How? Because we know the rule, 15% of the salary or actual rent paid, whichever is lower, we have to take. So now we have to do the format now. Computation of taxable value of rent-free accommodation, particular and amount column we have to do. Now first thing we have to write here, rule. We have to write the rule. So here we know house is not owned by the employer, so rule is 15% of the salary or rent paid by the employer, whichever is low. 15% of the salary we have to calculate. Salary amount we got as 1,59,200. So 1,59,200 into 15%. So you will get 15% of the salary amount as 23,880. Rent paid by the employer. Now rent paid by the employer, if you see the fifth point in the question, you will come to know that is 30,000. So that 30,000 you have to consider as it is. 30,000 is the rent paid. So among these two, which is low? Can you tell me now? Which is low? Among these two, which is low?
15% on
15% of
salary.
the salary is low. So that is why low answer you have to
Yes,
write in the outer column. That is 23,880 is the minimum. That is why that should be taken as the value of perquisite 23,880 written in the outer column. So to this value there is a furniture. Furniture calculation that you have to add. Add 10% cost of furniture. Furniture amount is given 1 lakh. 1 lakh into 10%. 1 lakh into 10%, if you do, you will get 10,000. That is furniture value. Now add both the things, you will get 33,880. From this, you have to deduct rent paid by the employee. Rent paid by the employee is given in the last adjustment, that is 1,200 per month. We want it for 1 year. 1,200 into 12, that is 14,400. You have to deduct from 33,880. Final tax free rent free, that is sorry, final taxable rent free accommodation is 19,480. This is the final answer. Salary, add furniture, less rent paid by the employee, you will get taxable rent free accommodation. Any doubt regarding this problem? Can you tell me if you have any
understood.
doubt? Understood this one?
Yes, sir.
Very easy problem for 8 marks. So I hope you understood this one. So now you see, we will discuss one more problem. We'll discuss one more problem. See this. From the following particulars, compute the perquisite value of rent-free accommodation of Mr. Arun. So now here Mr. Arun is an employee. Okay, basic salary is given 10,000 per month. So we want it for 1 year. Then DA, very important DA. DA is 50% of the basic. So 1 year basic salary, how much? Can you tell me now?
Basic salary is 10,000, sir.
1 year, 1 year. Total salary.
Per month, then 12,000, sir.
How 12,000?
Sorry,
1 lakh
1 lakh
20,000.
20,000.
1,20,000 is our total salary for 1 year. So
Yes,
DA of that 50% of the basic means 1,20,000 into 50%. What is the amount?
60,000.
60,000. Half of the 1,20,000. Out of that 60,000, what they said, half of this is considered for retirement benefit. So how much amount goes to the retirement benefit?
60,000, sir.
No, not 60,000.
30.
60,000 again half. 30,000.
30.
30,000
Yes,
you
sir.
have to consider for retirement benefit. 1,20,000 into 50% into 50% again. Because of this 50%, half goes for retirement benefit. Bonus is 2 months of basic. Can you tell me the bonus amount now?
Bonus 2 months basic. This one, sir,
20,000.
I'll tell 20,000.
Yes, correct. Bonus is 20,000. 10,000 into 2. Commission 2% on the turnover of 10 lakh. That is nothing but 10 lakh into 2% if you do, you will get commission. Medical allowance 1,000 per month. We want it for 1 year. That is 1,000 into 12. Conveyance allowance. Now you see, conveyance allowance 2,000 per month. 50% is for official purpose. And you know, under taxation, whatever the amount given for official purpose, it is exempt from tax. So what is the taxable allowance here? Conveyance allowance. Can you tell me?
That is 2,000 per month, no, sir. 50%
Hmm.
for official purpose.
Yes, 50% is exempt.
1,000 for official purpose, sir.
Yeah. So 2,000 into 50% means how much? 1,000. 1,000 is
1,000.
taxable. 1,000 is taxable per month. That means 1 year we want. 1,000 into 12. 12,000 is taxable. So that is about conveyance allowance. Official purpose exempt, personal purpose taxable. So out of 100, 50% official means remaining 50% personal purpose. Yes. After this, he is provided with RFA at Bangalore. So now you know, here city is Bangalore, having a population more than 25 lakh. It is specifically given. When it is more than 25 lakh, what is the rule?
15% tax, sir.
15% salary. So now one
Yes,
more
sir.
thing, if population is given in the question, we have to see whether the house is owned by the employer. In this question, no other information. So we'll assume that house is owned by the employer. That is why we have to take 15% of the salary since population is more than 25 lakh. Now cost of furniture is 50,000 and company pays 600 as higher charge. Which one we should consider? Which one we should consider now?
600, sir. 600 higher charges.
Yes, 600 higher charges we should consider and 50,000 we should not take. Yes, so this 600, whether this is per month or 1 year,
Per month.
Yes, sir. Per month is not given.
per month is not given, but hiring charges means what?
Per month only they'll take.
Yeah, installment amount you are paying. So per month. So that 600 is per month. So these are the points involved in this question. So now we have to find the solution part. First thing we want for RFA calculation, what do you mean by salary? Salary means here basic plus DA plus bonus plus commission plus medical allowance plus conveyance allowance. That means in short, salary means basic plus any addition to the salary. Any addition to the salary means bonus commission that also comes and all the taxable allowance. Here medical allowance is also taxable, conveyance allowance is also taxable. So both the information you have to consider. So everything comes under salary. Yes. So now see this salary calculation we have to do. Can you unmute yourself once? Unmute.
Yes, sir.
Mute yourself. Mute yourself. Yes. Yes. See this salary. Now we have we determined what do you mean by salary. Now we have to find out the salary. How to find out salary? We have to do the format. Or format is also not needed. You can calculate directly also. See this now. First basic we have to calculate. Basic salary. Basic salary given in the question 10,000 per month. So 10,000 into 12. 10,000 into 12 is nothing but 1,20,000, 1 year calculation. Now DA. DA we have already discussed. Out of 1,20,000, 50% is out of 1,20,000, 50% is DA it seems. See this given DA is 50% of basic. So 1,20,000 into 50%, that is 60,000. And out of that 60,000, half is considered for retirement benefit. That is why 60,000 into half, 30,000. Bonus 2 months they have said. So 10,000 into 2, that is basic into 2, that is 20,000. Commission on 10 lakh 2% commission. So 10 lakh into 2% if you do, commission amount will be 20,000. Medical allowance per month they have given. So we want it for 1 year, 1,000 into 12, 12,000. Conveyance allowance, what happens? Official purpose 50% is there. So either you can do like this, 22,000 is given in the question, 2,000 into 12, that is for 1 year, conveyance allowance is 24,000. 24,000 into 50% if you take, you will get 12,000. That is personal purpose is taxable. Or else you can do directly from 2,000 you take 50%, you will get 1,000. 1,000 into 12, same. Answer is 12,000. So we want total salary. Total salary how to calculate? Add all the information. Basic, DA, commission, bonus, medical allowance, conveyance allowance. Now total salary is 2,14,000. Yes. So any doubt regarding this one? Total salary calculation.
Understood, sir.
Understood?
Understood, sir.
Yes. So after knowing the total salary,
Yes,
now
sir.
we have to do the format of computation of rent-free accommodation. There are two columns, that is particular and amount column. So now we know house is owned by the employer and we know population is more than 25 lakh. So now what we have to take here, 15% of the salary. This is the rule. So on the salary take 15%. 2,14,000 into 15%, we got one amount, 32,100. Write it under amount column. Add higher charges. Cost of furniture is given in the question. Higher charges is also given. So we have to take higher charges. Higher charges per month we have to assume. So 600 into 12. Higher charges total is 7,200. Now we want total perquisite value of RFA. That is 32,100 plus 7,200. That is 39,300. Total perquisite value of RFA. Whether rent paid by the employee is given in the question, whether that is given in the question, not given. If it is not given, that is nil, or you need not write this information. Less rent paid by the employee. If it is given, you have to deduct. In this question, not given, nil. So taxable rent-free accommodation is 39,300. Yes. So this type of sum comes for 8 months. So any doubt regarding this problem, you can ask me now. Just tell me. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Have you understood RFA calculation?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hanumanta?
This format, everything same, no, sir.
A format is same. Rules you have to apply. You have to see whether house is owned by
Okay,
the employer or not owned. Not owned means
okay, sir.
15% of salary or rent paid, whichever is lower. If it is owned, then you have to see the population. You
Okay,
know,
sir.
right? More than 25, 15%. 10 to 25, 10%. Less than 10 lakh, 7.5%.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
So any updates, sir, of offline classes?
Offline classes, I don't think so. There is offline classes. There will be offline classes this semester because no one is ready to come. So what to do? And COVID test is also needed. They told, and I think people are lazy because students are
Yeah,
not.
sir.
Yeah,
Because
they are not ready to come. They prefer online because they can understand better. It seems.
yeah, seriously, sir, I can't
So
understand.
I don't know.
After
My
after
assumption.
work, when I come home, no, sir,
Ah,
seeing bed, no, sir, I'll fall. Then there
ah,
won't be mood, sir. If college means I'll come direct to college.
yes,
All
yes,
will be there. It will be nice, sir, to study.
yes, yes. So this semester very difficult. Can't tell. After
Yeah,
the
sir.
exam itself, we have to see next semester if possible. Yes.
That's what, sir. I thought of joining for tuitions also.
Ah,
Then
for
this
tuitions for all the subject
this
or all the subject.
no, sir, for the previous subject and
Okay.
for
Hmm.
accounts
Hmm.
and that I thought of joining, sir. Then our new project started, sir,
Okay.
like last week,
Hmm.
so I
Hmm.
couldn't again.
Yes. So no problem. You can understand. If you attend the online class also, you can understand. I feel. At least you can understand
There is no option,
50%.
sir. Those who wants offline class they can attend. There is no such options.
Yes, yes, option is there, but the condition is given by the college that only if there is more than 50%, then only we will conduct offline classes. If it is less than
Okay,
50%, we'll continue with online classes. That's it.
yes,
Yeah.
sir. Okay.
So
That's what, sir.
now, yeah.
Well,
So now we discussed about RFA we have discussed. After this, we have to see deduction allowed under the head salary under section 16. Can you mute once? Yes, because voice is coming. Yes. So now you see deduction allowed under the head salary under 16 means how to calculate taxable salary. Salary means everything you have to add. See if there is a format for computation of taxable salary, and this taxable salary calculation, two problems will be asked in the examination, that is 16 mark section C, two problem will be there. So it is very important to know the format. So how to do the calculation of salary? So everything you have to write, basic, bonus, commission, all the taxable allowance you have to write. Then you have to add if there is any perquisite value, if there is RFA, if there is watchman is given, if there is gardener facility is given, if servant is given, if cook is provided, everything you have to add. Then after that, if there is any contribution made to the some provident fund, maybe RPF, recognized provident fund, that we have to consider. So everything we have to consider, then only we can come to the conclusion, that is total taxable salary, and from that we have to deduct. Once we get the salary amount, that is total salary amount, from that we have to deduct certain things. So what and all deductions are there? First is standard deduction. Standard deduction means this is available for all the employee, that is 50,000 fixed. This amount you have to deduct from every problem. 50,000 you have to deduct. Before it was 40,000, now it is increased by 10,000. So now total is 50,000 you have to deduct, or amount of gross salary, whichever is low. Whichever is low among these two things, whichever is low. So usually 50,000 itself will be lower. So 50,000 you have to deduct. That is section 16 clause 1. Now second thing comes is entertainment allowance, section 16 clause 2. First we have to understand what do you mean by entertainment allowance. It is an allowance given to the employee to entertain the customers of the employer. So now it is very clear, it is an allowance given to employee to entertain the employer's customer. That is the meaning of entertainment allowance. So whenever there is an entertainment allowance, first thing you have to allow this allowance under salary income. That means you have to consider this as a taxable allowance. Then first you have to add this one. After that, you have to give the deduction under section 16 clause 2. So deduction means now how you are going to give the deduction. There are two category of employee, and this deduction is available only in the case of a government employee. Entertainment allowance deduction only for government employee. So in the case of government employee, central or state government employee, the least of the following is deductible. So there are 3 points. See this. One is 5,000, that is fixed amount. One is 5,000 fixed amount, or 20% of the basic, or actual entertainment allowance received during the previous year. Among these three, whichever is low. Among these three, whichever is low is deductible. So that is about entertainment allowance. What about the non-government employee? In the case of non-government employee, entertainment allowance is fully taxable. That is why no deduction is given. Only for government employee deduction is given. So that is about section 16 clause 2. Next comes is section 16 clause 3, professional tax or employment tax. Professional tax is paid by the employee shall be allowed to claim deduction. That means first you have to you have to add professional tax if it is paid by the employee. See this, if it is paid by the employer, then you have to consider this under taxable salary. First you have to add, then the later deduction is given. So total amount by the way of professional tax payable in respect of any one person not exceed, shall not exceed 2,500 per annum. That means for 1 year at the maximum 2,500 amount is deductible as professional tax. That means usually professional tax is 200 per month. 200 per month means 1 year, 200 into 12, 2,400 per month. Of course, it is less than 2,500. That is why up to 2,500 deduction is allowed for professional tax. And if it is paid by the employer, first you have to add, then you have to deduct. So here there are 3 types of deduction you have to see while computing taxable salary. First one is standard deduction, section 16 clause 1. Then entertainment allowance, section 16 clause 2. That is only deductible in the case of government employee. Then the third one is professional tax, section 16 clause 3. Yes. So have you understood, Anuj?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Can you tell me now what you have understood? Can you tell me?
I can ask sir one question like
Yes. So now standard deduction means what now?
uh, like what to tell, sir?
Yes, tell. Standard deduction means because now cost of living is very high. That is why from the salary income, government is giving some benefit to the salaried people. 50,000 is fixed. So 50,000 they can reduce their tax liability. That is why 50,000 is deductible. That is standard deduction.
Why, sir? But why?
To reduce the tax liability, and government is of thinking that every year inflation rate goes high. That means every year inflation reaches another level. You know, right? This year if the price of the commodity is 100, next year it will be 110. So salaried people, what happens? They are receiving
Okay.
the same salary in the most of the cases, isn't it? There won't be hike in the salary. That is why
Yes.
government is giving some fixed amount, that is 50,000 as standard deduction to all the employee.
Okay, like that, sir.
Like that. Then entertainment allowance, you know, that is for government employee, it is deductible. After calculating all the calculation, you have to deduct entertainment allowance. Professional tax for the profession, you have suppose whatever the profession that employee is carry, for that he has to pay professional tax. That is also deducted from his salary. Yes. So all these three type of deductions are important. That is, first one is standard deduction, entertainment allowance, and professional tax. Yes. After this, now next topic is valuation of perquisite in respect of motor car. Rule 3 clause 2, very important from the point of view of 16 mark problem. Why? Because in 16 mark problem, motor car adjustment will come. Motor car adjustment will come. So we have to know whether it is a small car, whether it is a big car, whether it is owned by the employer, whether it is owned by employee, whether expenses are met by employer, whether expenses are met by employee, that we have to see, and whether employer owns more than one car, that also we have to see, and one more thing we have to see, whether that car is used for official purpose, whether that car is used for personal purpose, or whether that car is used for both the purpose, that also we have to see. So everything we have to consider before doing the calculation of income from salary. So now motor car calculation, you see there are certain rules are given. Employee would be provided with motor car facility by his employer for convenience purpose. The following will be the value of perquisite taxable in the hands of the employer in different cases. So now see there are four column rules are given. Owner of the car, that is first column, expenses incurred by whom, that is given in the second column, purpose is given in the third column, value of perquisite taxable or not, that is given in the fourth column. So now first case you see, owner of the car is employer, expenses are incurred by employer. Owner is also employer, whatever the maintenance is also paid by the employer. Purpose is only for official. Fully official means entire thing for official purpose. And you know, under taxation system, whenever it is entire thing goes for official purpose, there is no tax. So here nil, no taxation. See this value of purpose and taxable is nil. Whether entire amount, if the amount is more than 50,000, 1 lakh, doesn't matter. If you are using for official purpose, then it is nil, no tax. That is first case. Now second case, if you see, owner of the car, employer, expenses are incurred by employer, Now, use is only for personal. Fully for private means only for personal purpose. Whenever it is for personal purpose, there is certain rules. See this now. Actual running and maintenance cost to the employer. Whatever the maintenance cost that you have to consider. Add a remuneration to chauffeur or driver. If a driver is given, if a driver is there for that particular car, is the salary also we have to consider. Remuneration to driver plus 10% of cost of car. If cost of car is given in the question, then you have to take 10% of that. Why? Because we'll assume that normal wear and tear will happen because of usage and minus amount charged to employee. If any amount is charged to employee, that you have to deduct from all these things. Yes. So that is about second case. Employer, owner, expenses are met by employer and only for private purpose. Yes. So now whatever the cases we have discussed, now first two cases not that important. So now let us see the third one. Now important thing is third and fourth case. Very important from the point of view of 16 mark problem. See this now owner is employer, met by expenses are met by employer. Now purpose is both. Now in the question if you see they'll ask like this both the purpose official as well as private purpose. So whenever it is for both the purpose then the CC of the car shall be taken. CC means cubic capacity, engine capacity we have to see. So if engine capacity is up to 1.6 liter, so up to 1.6 liter means sometimes in the question they may ask whether they may say that it is a small car. Small car means we have to assume it is less than 1.6 liter cc. Whenever it is less than 1.6 liter cc, 1800 per month. 1800 per month fixed amount you have to consider, and if driver is provided 900 per month you have to consider. So what happens now 1800 and 900 is given under taxation system. This is fixed. When you have to consider if when the car is used for both personal as well as official purpose and owner is employer, expenses are met by employer. Yes. So that is for small car calculation. This is for small car. What if the car is a big one? Whenever the car is a big car, CC of the car engine is above 1.6 liter. In that case, 2400 per month fixed amount you have to take. If a driver is there for that particular car, 900 per month as a driver's salary you have to consider. Even if a driver's salary is 1200, taxable is only 900. Fixed amount you have to consider 900 per month is a taxable. That is case number 3. Then if you see case number 4, again very important one. Here owner is employer, but here expenses are met by employee. In the previous case, both is met by employer, but in the fourth case, owner is employer, met by employee. Purpose is both official and personal purpose. In this case, what you have to do? In this case, see the here, CC of the car, again small car, CC of the car engine up to 1.6 liter means 600 per month we have to take. Fixed amount 600 per month. If driver is there for driver common, 900 per month. If a driver is provided 900 per month common. If a car is a big car and expenses are met by employee used for both the purpose, then 900 per month that is fixed. Again driver 900 per month that is as usual if driver is provided. Yes, that is case number 4. So any doubt regarding this? Yes, tell me now. Have you understood now?
Yes, sir. First one is for employer to employer. No, sir.
Yes.
Second one is for employee, no, sir.
Yes, employee. So employer to employer, you have to remember two amount. What are those? 1,800 and
1,800 and 900. No. Huh?
So 1,800 and
Okay.
2,400. 900 later.
2,400.
If driver is there, then 900 also
Yes, sir.
comes. Yes. So 1,800
Yes, sir.
per month, 2,400 per month. Driver is provided 900 per month. So now second case,
900.
what happens? Second case.
It is for employee. That is 600 and
600 and
600
900.
and
Second
how much, sir?
case
600 and
900. 600 and
Okay.
900 for second case. Plus driver is provided again 900.
900.
Yes, see this. That is about case number 4. Now, if fifth case, employee is a owner. Now, employee is a owner. Expenses are met by employer. Fully official purpose. Whenever fully official purpose, nil. No tax, nil. That is fifth case. Now, sixth case, employee is a owner. Expenses are met by the employer, both official and personal purpose. In this case, what we have to do? In this case, is the opposite of fourth one. See this, opposite of fourth one. Here employer is owner, here employee is owner. Here expense are met by employee, here expense are met by employee. In this case, first we have to take actual cost to the employee. So what do you mean by the actual cost? Actual cost is nothing but maintenance cost, then wear and tear, then if any other things are provided, like remuneration to the driver. So all these things you have to consider. Then from that you have to deduct if CC is up to 1.6, that is small car, 1800 per month you have to deduct. If CC is above 1.6, 2400 per month, whichever is applicable you have to deduct. This is sixth case, and this is not that important. Only important thing is third and fourth one. This is very important one. Yes. Any doubt regarding these rules, motor car rules? Any doubt regarding motor car rules? Have you understood, Hanumanta?
No, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Understood, right? Rules.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
See this. Now, after studying the rules, there are certain notes are given that we have to see. Facility of more than one car provided by the employer. Now, employer is giving more than one car. In that case, how to calculate? Suppose employer gives to employee 2 cars. In that, how to calculate? Then that car is used for both the purpose. Then value of the purpose it shall be computed as. So now for the first car, how to calculate? Depending on the cubic capacity. See this. One car we can take a cubic capacity. That means rule 3 or 4 we can apply for one car. Whether this is clear? For first car we can apply cubic capacity. Value of perquisite shall be computed based on the engine cubic capacity of the car. Then what about the remaining car? That is second car, third car, fourth car. What we have to do? For the remaining car shall be determined as the actual running and maintenance cost to employer plus remuneration to the driver plus 10% of the cost of the car.